Hey, y'all. Welcome to Talk to Me. I'm your host, Brenda Warren, the Solutionist. I'm using these new headphones today, so I'm trying to get them situated. They fell out just before we went live. Technical difficulties happen sometimes, and you just got to roll with it. Had them all set, and then all of a sudden, they just popped out of my ear. Who knew? It is my great pleasure to be here with you. I'm the solutionist, and I see things other people often miss. And today we're going to be talking about some things that I missed. And later on, I'm going to be joined by Coach Nykia. She's going to help me face it because it is Face It Friday after all. Every once in a while, you have to face the fact that there are things happening in your life and in your business that you just need to face up to and make the necessary pivot or mindset shift to make the change. But while we're waiting for Coach Nakia to join us, I thought I'd share some of the things that I've been asked. I've been receiving questions recently about so many different things. And so today I thought I would answer a few of those questions while we wait. One of the questions that I was asked was, "Hey, Brenda, what are you reading?" Well, right now, what I'm reading is on a daily basis, I read from this book right here. It is Sparkling Gems from the Greek. It's a Bible study by Rick Renner, and I really enjoy it. It says 365 Greek word studies for every day of the year, and it increases your understanding of the Word of God. Today's lesson for the 14th was preparing the troops for battle, not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another. And then it goes on to explain it. And inside the book, they have a prayer for the day, a confession for the day, and then questions for you to consider. And that's pretty much how it goes every day. So this sits right here by my desk. In addition to the Rick Renner book, I have the book that I've been reading also is The Big Leap. The Big Leap is a book that will help you break through your barriers, and it's talking about how you can overcome those hidden fears and take life to the next level. You know, if you've been listening to me for any time, I'm all about living your best life now, no opportunity wasted. And I felt like I was wasting a lot of the opportunities given to me as I sat back in fear. And you know what fear is? Fear is future events already ruined. You see, I don't want to live from a position of fear. I want to live from a position of power. I want to embrace everything life has to offer. And how I do that is by educating myself, by reading books like The Big Leap, the Sparkling Gems book, and many others. Another book that I keep close by me because one of the things that I have to do when I'm interviewing people is listen. And sometimes just getting the basic, oh, how do you listen book just wasn't working for me. And then I came across this amazing book written by someone I call my friend, a coach, and a mentor, Mr. Adam Fleming. And that book is The Art of Motivational Listening. Let me tell you, it's Creative Ideas for Effective Leaders. It's by Adam G. Fleming. You can find it on Amazon. Make sure if you get it, you leave a review. This book is amazing. It's not your standard listen like educational book where you just read and they give you 6 steps to this or 2 steps to that. All weaved throughout here are stories that are practical and easy to understand so that you can learn how to listen and actually have conversations with some meaning to them. And then finally, the book that's with me, although I'm a voracious reader, I have this beautiful book right here, Finding Love After Heartbreak, Volume 1. Now, I'm going to spell Stephen's last name because I always mess it up. It's Labossiere. When he says his name, it sounds beautiful, but since I always butcher it, I want you to see his name. I won't dare. I purchased this on Amazon as well. And this book has been really helpful to me, and it talks about not constantly looking back to past hurts. You have a hope for love going forward. It's just filled with all kind of practical advice, and I felt like a lot of times that he was sitting right on my shoulder just telling me, girl, It's going to be okay. So, those are the books that I am currently reading. Another question that came up was recently about my hater blockers. Yeah. If you've watched me or looked on Instagram, you know that I recently created some hater blockers when I had some people basically throw some shade my way because I said I'm just too positive and nobody can be that positive or that happy. Well, I'm here to tell you, yes, somebody can, and I am that one. You see, I live in an attitude of gratitude, and I refuse to live in the negative because life is entirely too short to live in the negative. So, I had to get me some hater blockers because my future's so bright, I'm going to have to wear shades. And if I'm going to have to wear shades, I might as well wear hater blockers. And yes, some people did ask me to make some for them. I was told by Alex, my child, that I should make them more bedazzling and stuff so that it really blocks them. So we're going to have Hater Blockers 2.0 coming out pretty soon. But like I said when I originally put them out there, if you would like some hater blockers and you want me to make you a pair, just hit me up on my Cash App, The Solutionist, Brenda The Solutionist. What is it, dollar sign solutions? I'll be in the description. And feel free, and we will make you some hater blockers as well. And if not, you can always, if you're crafty and creative, make your own. That's the fun with stuff like this. You can buy it or you can make your own, whichever suits your personality. The other question that I was asked was about my guinea pigs. I was supposed to have them on the show today, but unfortunately, I'm here alone, so I can't do both. But I do have three very, very special little guinea pigs. One's name is River, the other is Misty, and then S'mores, my oldest, he is a little boy. And they are the absolute love and lights of my life. My guinea pigs were instrumental in helping me with my post traumatic stress disorder diagnosis. I reframe post traumatic stress as I plan to show up daily. But in the beginning, when I was first struggling with the diagnosis and still hadn't found my footing quite, one of my guinea pigs named Marble, may he rest in peace, he has crossed the Rainbow Bridge, came up to me in the midst of one of my triggers when I was crying and put his little paw on my leg. And he sat there with me until I got myself together. And when I stopped crying, Marble went away, but he stopped and he looked back at me. And I thought, oh, wow, this little piggy. And so I started to notice a trend that when I was sad, it affected my guinea pigs. And when Marble passed, I was devastated. But to my surprise, one of the other guinea pigs, S'mores, picked up the behavior that Marble had had and began to be my basically my service pet. That when I find myself getting anxious, I can just sit down there with my guinea pigs, put them in a lap. They're amazingly loving little creatures, and he helps me calm and helps me reduce my anxiety. So, yes, I have three guinea pigs, S'mores, River, and Misty, and they are absolutely pampered piggies. They have custom made cages. They are very well loved and very well groomed, and I take them on regular vet visits to make sure that they stay healthy. We currently call them the immortals because most guinea pigs in people's homes live for 3 years. Mine are still here 7 years later. How awesome is that? So that's it about my guinea pigs. The other question was about my child Alex. Yes, Alex is non binary. And I think that it is interesting some of the comments that I got regarding that. But nevertheless, Alex is Alex, always will be, always has been. And I'm excited and proud to say that I am Alex's mom. Oh, I'm looking to see what was one of the other questions was what made you start the podcast? Well, I was part of the Be on TV boot camp. And one of the things that you learned from there was how to do pitches and how to get on national television, write magazine articles, be on TV basically. And I was watching everyone go on TV and they would go on for a few seconds, few snippets, one step this way, three steps that way. But we weren't getting to know or see who they were. So I started my podcast originally to give them a platform to come on and let us discover who they are and to highlight their businesses. So I started interviewing the people I met in the Super Connector Media community and giving them an opportunity to shine. Many of those people have gone on to have their books become number one bestseller because they came on the show. Others created their own platforms. Then more others went on to get even more national exposure by using the videos that they did with me as proof that they could actually hold an interview. So I'm very proud to say that this platform here has allowed for people to be their best selves and to show off what they can do and highlight their businesses. I have been very blessed and fortunate to interview some amazing people. My first two interviews on this YouTube channel were Dr. Jen Price and Archie Messersmith Bunting, who is the feelings guy. They took a chance on me and allowed me to interview them on this show when I couldn't even figure out how to upload or turn on YouTube. So I will be forever grateful for their faith in me, which allowed me to do what I do now. And I am just really grateful for that. Um, but excuse me, Coach Nykia is coming on today because we're going to be talking about the pivot around just that. You know, every once in a while, you have to sit back and ask yourself, am I really doing what lights me up? Am I really doing what I say I want to do? Well, over the past few months after leaving the Unfair Advantage Live conference, and there's another one coming up in May. I'll put information down in the description. After leaving that conference, it gave me a lot of food for thought. And I was left wondering, am I really putting out what I want to put out? And so now Coach Nykia is going to come on with me today and talk about face it, girl. It may be time for you to pivot. And I see that she has entered the studio. So we're going to bring her on without delay because I know she's busy and has things she needs to do as well. Let me see if we can get Coach Nykia added to the live stream. Let me see. Hi, Coach Nykia. How are you today? Welcome to Talk.
Hey, I'm doing great.
You know, I was just telling the audience how you are coming here on Face It Friday with me to help me talk about the importance of face it. Sometimes it's time for a change. It's of us to make mindset shifts when even we know that what we may be doing may not be the right thing for us at that time, but we'll kind of
Mhm.
hold on to it a little bit longer than we need to. So before
Absolutely.
we go into my mindset shift and the things I need to face, I want to give you the opportunity to tell people who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you, and I am glad to be here live with you. I'm Coach Nykia. I'm your global brand designer. So I design brands globally. I help women build their social media up, brand themselves properly, and be able to attract their clients online on demand. And so I'm always about just making sure that people understand that the power that we have of these tools that we're using right now, like the live stream, being able to brand yourself, being able to come on here and spread your message. And so I help women to be able to do that and also do that without having the imposter syndrome. Because most of the times, a lot of women, when we start out businesses like this, we have the imposter syndrome. So I help women to be able to achieve that without having the imposter syndrome.
And I'm running your if I do I have that correct, the chosenagency.com.
It's
Okay,
chosen1agency.com,
let me
but that's
get see,
close.
that's why I
Yes,
asked. No, close enough will not work. Sometimes it's a good thing about being able to edit. And I love StreamYard for that reason alone, that when you have a situation and you say, you know what, I need to fix that. Oops, we're going to hide it one more time. And go ahead, talk about your agency while I fix that. Chosen One.
I
There
was
we
trying to
go.
find you here. Are we on live on Facebook?
We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and what do you call it? LinkedIn. We
LinkedIn,
balling today.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. I was definitely trying to find it. I'll have to find this and share this to my lot to my
Okay.
individuals. But yeah, my agency, Chosen One Agency, is an agency that's a done for you agency for those who are looking for content creation to be done on a monthly basis, those who need SEO, even down to your branding. So, those who need website design, any branding tools such as pitch decks, brochures, business plans, we help with those things and it's all done for you. So, what I found is, as a busy business owner like myself,
Mhm.
we don't have time to really do those things. And so I wanted to be able to help women who were building their brand and didn't want to be able to be in the forefront of doing all those creatives, that they can come to our agency and we can get it done for them. And it's designed for those small business owners who may not have that large budget, but we work with you on a smaller budget.
Now you also have an academy, is that not correct?
Yes, I do. Chosen One Academy was derived from Chosen One Agency. And so what happened is a lot of women started coming to me and saying, "Look, I need you to coach me on how to build this brand myself. I need your direct one-on-one." And so last year I started coaching women, and the outcome, the outpour, it started spreading. And so we developed Chosen One Academy for those who were looking to not go through our agency and have it done for them, but those who wanted
Mhm.
to learn how to do it themselves. And so Chosen One Academy is where you can enroll in to be able to either get mentorship as far as your mindset to develop it, having that CEO mindset to be able to grow your business, or
Mhm.
either those who are looking to have a one-on-one coach who can help them build their brand step by step and hold their hand. And so that's what Chosen One Academy is derived from Chosen One Agency.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So you had to face it that it was time to pivot and create your own academy.
Absolutely. And I love that you said that, because oftentimes we get stuck in one part of our business. And what happens is your customers will oftentimes tell you when it's time to pivot. The clients, the people that you serve. And so what happened is my clients started coming to me and they wanted the other side of me. They wanted that
Mhm.
direct communication, that coaching from me that I've always had in me and I've always done. And so what happened is when they said, "No, I want to pay you for this service," I said, "Wow, this is where we need to create a paid side, and we need to create." And I wanted to make sure that I separated those entities. So a lot of times we try to put all these different areas of business in one arena, and it just doesn't
Mhm.
mesh and brand right. And so the agency is strictly for those who need our service, and it's done for you. But the academy is where you can actually learn and come and get taught. And so it all makes sense to have those different ones. So it's all of the Chosen One brand, but we have an academy for those who want to learn how to do it themselves. And then we have an agency for those who want to do it, for us to do it for them.
So it's important when we're women in business to face the fact that there are those that are going to want you to do it for them, and there are those that are going to
Hmm.
want to do it themselves. And your service or
Yes.
product hopefully can accommodate both of those type of psychologies. Would you say?
Absolutely. And you have to learn when it's time to pivot into that. So, like I said, I didn't start off with coaching women. I started off
Mhm.
with helping women, doing it for them. But then that pivot came when I realized that my clients, some of them were needing more. They didn't want us to just do it. They actually wanted to learn how to develop this themselves. That way they can go on and fly and build their business on that budget, because some people don't have the budget to hire other people to do all these things for them. They need to learn how to do it themselves. And so I've been able to, within my program, teach people how to do that efficiently, and be able to do that without having to hire our agency, but still get those things that they need done at a lower cost.
Now, one of the things that I talked to you about earlier today was the fact that I want to service women over 40. And that's
Hmm.
the demographic that I've chosen to put my efforts into, because I feel like that is a very underserved population, and statistics
Hmm.
prove that out. Now, even with that said, I'm mentioning that right now because I also want to bring to the fact that although I want to service women over 40. Younger women can benefit from the program that I'm offering as well. Um,
Hmm.
and also that age doesn't necessarily mean experience. And I'm coming back to you. You say, "Well, I'm going around the mulberry bush, but there's a reason." I turned 59, and I've been proudly shouting that on the 27th of December last year. And I know you're a much younger woman than I am. However, comma, when I was given the opportunity to sit at your feet as a coach, girl, I did not run. I put on my track shoes and ran toward you, because although you are a young woman, you are very knowledgeable, you're very professional, You're very capable, and you had great insights and information to help me take what I want to do with women over 40 to the next level. And I want to talk about what challenges have you seen when you went to pivot? Did your age become a barrier or was it a asset for you?
Well, it is an asset, but it was both. Okay. And I'll tell you why. At first, because I attract a lot of women who are over 40 as well, for my particular arena, because most of the women who come to me, they're not really skilled in the social media world, right?
Mhm.
And that's a lot. Of course, that's a lot of women over 40. Like, this is a new thing for us, especially as business. A lot of people have grew their business off social media. So now they're having to pivot, right, and learn
Mhm.
how to come online and meet people, market their business. I had worked with several women who were just not coachable. They just thought, well, what does she know? She's so young.
Mhm.
And maybe underestimated me, and also wanted to tell me how they wanted to do things as a coach. And so for me, it was like, well, why hire me? If I'm the
Mhm.
expert in this arena. It was at first, because I wanted to help people. I did not charge my value, my worth,
Mhm.
because I was so young and I was thinking, well, I just want to help people. So I didn't charge my worth, which attracted those women over 40 who were not really serious about going to the next level. But what happened is, for me, I hired a coach who was of my age range, who was attracting, of course, individuals over their 40s. And they helped me to scale my price up. And I realized once I'd done that, I was able to attract the more mature, more professional, more women who were coachable. And now I haven't had an issue with my business or with coaching those women, because they're now attracted to me, and they're in the same mindset as I am, and also we just get along great. So I haven't had that problem now, but I did have to make a few adjustments. Being young minded, I wasn't
Mhm.
thinking long term wise, and
Mhm.
so I realized that I was the reason that I was attracting that type of energy. And so that synergy now that I have with my clients is amazing. Like, the women I work with, they're amazing. The brands I work with, they're amazing. I still work with millennials as well, but I love seeing the outcome of the women who are over 40, who've pivoted and who've understood, this is what I got to do. I'm not comfortable online, but I've got
Mhm.
to get uncomfortable to get where I want to be. And so that's the ultimate goal, for people when I work with them, is to get them to that space, to get uncomfortable, so that they see that that comfort zone was what was holding them back.
Okay, so I saw another face it point. I'm going to say face it. Everyone isn't coachable, and sometimes you have to know when to back up and say, that's not my client. Can you talk about that just a
Yes.
little bit more about the importance of women owning their right to say, I don't want to work with you?
Well, that goes to mindset. What I realized is, when I hired my coach, and by the way, I do believe that if you have a coach, that coach should have a coach. I'll
Mhm.
always preach that, because we never should stop learning, right? And
Mhm.
some people get in that thing of, I know everything. But what I realized, for me being young, is that I had a mindset issue. I came from that 9 to 5 world, and so
Mhm.
I realized that so many people don't have that belief in themselves. And when I told my coach the price I was charging, and the look that they gave me, like in the session, she said, "Don't do that to yourself ever again." And it's just, every
Mm.
time I think about it, I look
Yeah.
at it like the disgust of, why would you feel that you're that low of a value? And then the reason why I say that is, no, money isn't everything. But when you are out here marketing, or when you're growing your business, your price attracts your tribe, attracts your clients. And so if you're lowballing yourself, then you're going to find
Mhm.
those who like to lowball themselves as well. And so it's important for you to first believe in yourself as an individual. You have to believe in yourself. And most of the times, the reason why people don't charge their price, or they don't shy away from clients, is because they don't believe they'll get another one. So
Mhm.
where that one came from, another one will come. And so you have to be okay with saying, you're not a great fit for me, but what I can share with you is this. And it gives you that power. So take back your power in 2022. Understand that, face it, everybody's not going to like you for who you are, and
Mhm.
everybody's not going to be your ideal client. And if they're not your ideal client, turn the money down, because all money isn't good money.
That's right. That's right. And that's why I wanted you to come on here and talk with me today, because on Face It Friday, at least for the month of January, as I'm gearing up to do a pivot for February and beyond, I wanted to bring on different
Yes.
people to help me face it, whatever it is going on in my life. Last week we talked about my inability to let go and a couple of other things. So today we're going to face the mindset issue of that it's okay to change and get all of my branding in line, because as I discussed with you, I've been doing the interviews for businesses, for entrepreneurs, veterans, and authors, and I love it. However, all of my branding really speaks to me working with women over 40, but that's not what my podcast was about. Although
Mhm.
I am going on other people's podcasts and I'm talking about the sex that makes angels blush. I'm talking about um, women over 40 living their best lives unapologetically. I'm talking
Mhm.
about women over 40 having better relationships and all, but I wasn't doing that on my own podcast.
Mm.
So
That's
today, I wanted you to talk about how amazingly you helped me say it's okay to pivot and realign what I'm doing so that my brand matches across the board. It's one thing to have all your colors in line, but if your message is disjointed, you're not doing yourself a benefit.
Yes, and I'm glad that you said that. You pointed out something that came across me, and I worked with a coach too last year on, and she helped me to become unapologetic last year, and that's what will save you in the long run. So I do know, and like I told you, sometimes those things come to an end, and so I believe your tenure to help in that arena has come to an end, and it's now opening up a new arena for those women over 40 to face it and talk to you, come talk to you.
Mhm.
And so you're being able to attract those women who need your help and also have that message go across. I believe it's important for us to let things go, especially when you are pivoting. It's so challenging, and I'll say that as a woman in business, to let things go. We hold on to things. We hold on
Mhm.
to relationships, friendships. We always feel like, what if we're missing something, or I don't want to let those people down. But the
Right.
main ingredient we need to worry about is ourselves. And so we have to make sure we're not letting ourselves down. And so if the message doesn't align with the brand, then it gets all jumbled. And then that's when confusion comes in. And also, if you're confused, guess who else is confused? Your clients, your potential
Right.
clients, the
Yeah.
buyers. And so the people don't know which way to go. And so I believe the new look for the Talk to Me podcast is going to be amazing. I believe the women that's going to come on to the Talk to Me podcast are going to have transformations. And here's the best part about that is other people hearing their stories is going to transform their lives. And so it's
Mhm.
just important that we understand that the pivot doesn't mean that we stop helping people or stop what we're doing. It's just we're changing up some ingredients to make some better sauce. And so I love the new sauce that's coming for you. And your mindset had to do a shift on that. And I understand when we get so comfortable in something that we've
Mhm.
been doing for
Yeah.
so long, it's hard to let it go. But you said it yourself. You said today, you were like, I have to let it go. And you have to move forward to help the new people who are waiting on you, because there are many more people waiting on you. And it doesn't say that you still won't attract those authors, those entrepreneurs, just those who are now your target audience, those who are now in that arena over 40 who are struggling and who need to become unapologetic. Because guess what? Life will take a toll on you to where you start apologizing for everything. And it's just time for us, especially in 2022 as women, we have to just become unapologetic about everything that we're doing, because we've overcame so much. We overcame the right to be able to vote, to be able to have say in our homes, to be able to do
Mhm.
what it is that we to even be in the workforce, to even have the
Yes.
amount of money that a man makes. Like, women are coming through and we are pushing and we've overcome so much. And I believe that that stigma, and still as women we feel we have a place. And our
Mm-hmm.
place now is to show other women that you can show up unapologetic and still be amazing at what you do and still help others.
And as we discussed earlier, just giving my own self permission to
Mm,
make the shift and be okay with it. Because like you said, I
yeah.
did struggle with all those people that are, oh, I want to be on your show, I want to be on your show. And
Mhm.
having to go back through that list and say, although we've talked about this, you no longer line up with where I'm going. But I've
Mm,
already figured out how to do that. So today, after I had spoken with you, I reached out to some other people and said, hey, I have these people that I had offered opportunities to come on the show. And it no longer lined up for what I'm going to do. Could I recommend them for your show? And they were very
wow.
gracious. So I look for places where they can go. And these other places have even a larger viewership than what I have. So it's not like it's going to be a step down. And we talked about that as well, too, that sometimes the upgrade, excuse me, this perceived downgrade can be an upgrade. Because when I was in
Hmm.
New York, um, I stayed at the Comet Hotel and there was a mix up. And because of the mix up, they gave me an upgrade. But I have a fear of heights. And so when they put me in this room with this magnificent view, I thought, oh my God, I cannot stay in this room. Plus, it didn't have a bathtub, and I'm a bubble bath girl. So I went back downstairs. I said, I don't want to be a pest, and I appreciate the upgrade, but could you please put me in a room with a tub? And they were like, well, man, and she said, well, I do have something for you. I hope you don't mind. And when they put me in this new room, do you know the downgrade was better than the upgrade? So
Amen.
sometimes when we think that we are taking a step back, it can actually be a step into the right direction for even greater, better benefits. And so the benefit
Wow.
of having the tub on a lower floor with a bigger suite was a blessing for me. And so I look at that when I'm looking to face it, whatever it is. I'm confident now after talking to you and hearing the things that you talked to me today about mindset that I can
Hmm.
face it fully with the knowledge that I am fully equipped with the skills and the tools to move forward thanks to you, um, to make any change, any pivot that I want to make. And with that said, I would like to say, what advice would you give to a woman that right now is maybe watching here and she's sitting on the fence? She knows that what she's doing is not quite line up with her brand, or maybe she doesn't even have a brand yet, but she knows she needs to make a change. What one thing or two would you say you advise her to start with, besides hiring Coach Nykia to be your coach? Get Coach Nykia as your coach. Go to her website, find out what and how you can get in her academy, because I'm telling you, it will be worth it. Okay, go ahead, Coach.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that. And yes, that is the final sauce that you need to do. But you already gave it to them. Just face it. It's okay to sometimes downgrade to upgrade. You
Mhm,
pretty much gave the recipe to them. So I believe a lot of people are not understanding that you have to take a step back sometimes. It's okay to go get that education, right? So when we want a better job or when we're on the 9 to 5, we know we got to go to school. We got to
mhm,
go to school, get more education so we can get more pay. Well, it's the same in the business world. If you want to get more pay, get more education. So
mhm,
oftentimes people want to do things and they don't know what they're doing. And so taking a downgrade, taking a step back to regroup, maybe get coaching, maybe go learn what it is you need to learn and then implement, because I know you said your
mhm.
word of the year is implementation.
Yes, it
Then
is.
implement what it is that you've been taught, and then you will see a change come around. But oftentimes people are stuck in their ways and they're
Mhm,
still implementing the old sauce, the old ingredients, and wondering why it still tastes like the old sauce and not the new. So if you want more money this year, get more education. I learned that
mhm,
a while back. So most of the successful people, they have a routine of reading. They have a
mhm,
routine of doing things a certain way where they're in rooms with people who are successful. They are nothing but connecting and making sure their mind is full of that success. And if you're not aligned in that arena, then it's going to be hard for you to get to where you want to go. And so with branding, it's not a 1, 2, 3, let me post and then people will sign up. It's a
mhm.
lot more ingredients than that. And so if you take a step back to learn the things that you need to implement within your business for 2022, that will be your biggest upgrade. So if even if the first quarter you have to sit out and learn, that downgrade is going to upgrade you, as Miss Warren said, to a bigger suite come second quarter, because you'll already be able to implement the things you need to implement. And then that branding will take off to where when you drop something, doesn't matter what I drop, people will buy it because they already have that know, like, and trust you factor with me. And so, and you have an audience of people who know and trust you, and necessarily they don't have to like you. I've learned that people don't have to
Mm-hmm.
like me, but they've learned to know me and trust me and know that I wouldn't steal their money and scam them, and I know what I'm talking about. So once you've proved that and built your authority up in the industry, then you will be able to be that expert that people go to for everything. So it's just as simple as that. Downgrade to upgrade this year.
And I'm loving that because as we talked about that this morning, as I took that step back, I'm working on the second edition to my book, and that's all going to be coming out in the end of the month. And in February, I'm launching my mastermind. I've been doing a mastermind for the past year, but we're going to launch the paid one coming in February. There's a lot of things coming on the horizon, and I'm going to talk more about that next week, you guys, on Face It Friday next week. But right now, I just wanted to say thank you, Coach Nykia, for
Absolutely.
coming and helping me face it, because this thing is going to get on my nerves, y'all. I'm gonna have to
Let's
work this
face
out by
it.
next week. Just face it that when you have new equipment, you definitely should
That's
test it
it.
out before you go live. Because it's just been fun. I think there's like different size little little earpieces.
Uh-huh.
Because I have small ears and this thing is shammed in there so that it'll work. But I love how clear the sound is. I hope it's clear to you.
It's very clear. Very
Okay, that's
clear.
good because I was feeling pretty grown today. I got my little big girl mic. I got my MV7 Shure and
Yes.
My Shure headsets. I was like, oh, y'all, it is on now. And this was an upgrade, definitely not a downgrade, but it was an opportunity for me to feel like a professional podcaster by investing in myself
That's
to,
it.
to level up to the next level, get a better quality sound. I'm even getting a new camera that's coming in. And I'm just excited about all the things that are coming up on the horizon. And again, I must say, I appreciate you, the knowledge and experience you bring, what you've added to my life. I think I would honestly say 18 months ago, if you had told me I'd be paying for coaches at any price, I'd have told you that you were on hallucinogenic drugs, because I did not believe that that was something that I needed, because I've had 20 years in the Marine Corps, 40
Mhm.
years in the workforce plus. I started my first business at the age of 9. I've been doing balance sheets and business plans since I was 12 years old.
Ooh.
So, but the thing is, I am coachable, I am
Mhm.
teachable, and I practice Kunai, constant, never ending improvement. And I will tell you, coming to a place where I was understanding that age does not mean experience or expertise.
Mhm.
I am excited to say that as a young woman, you are the expert in your field, that you have great wisdom, that you see things very clearly and are able to put them in a way that makes people be able to take action. You gave me actionable steps. I walked away knowing that I can truly be unapologetically unstoppable in 2022. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. And I want to say, I hope the listeners are listening to you, because they have to face it and realize that there are a lot of people out here who feel the way you feel, even now. I don't need a coach. I don't need this. I don't. And guess what? They feel like, I've had 20 years of experience in business. What would she know? Right.
Mhm.
But it's the education, and times have changed
Yes,
back
they
from when
have.
you started business at 12. And honestly, I wish I had that experience that you had for, starting out early. But one thing I will say is that the experience that I've gotten is what you said too, is investing in myself. So when
Mhm,
I believe in investing in myself, is investing into other people who've already had the experience that where I want to be, and who can teach me new things. And I do believe, like I said, education is the way to have the better paydays. So because I've been educating myself over the years, and I stayed patient
mhm.
for my turn, learn. In my time, I realized that as the more education I have, the more valuable I become. And so people are not paying me because they just like me, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm beautiful and my looks. People are paying me for the education that I've sought out and paid for myself. So don't look at these investments as, oh my God, I'm paying for a coach. You're paying
Mm-hmm.
for the knowledge, you're paying for the skill sets, the expertise. And like you said, with investing into the mics, right? You're paying
Mm-hmm.
for better quality sound. You're paying for the earbuds so you can hear clearer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to stop looking at what we're spending out, because when we pull up at Starbucks, we don't ask why the coffee is $5, but at home we can go make it but we know the quality of Starbucks coffee, the experience you're going to get. And I love an experience, right? Chick-fil-A
Mm-hmm.
and Starbucks always tops me. Like, I always spend my money in those places. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they invest into making sure that their employees give you an experience. So when you leave, even if you were having a bad day, you're going to leave feeling good, because that's their pleasure. They always are ready to help you. They're always giving you a great experience within
Mm-hmm.
your time. So making sure, for me as a coach, that's what I look for, is not just giving you guys actionable steps, but also, what experience would I give Brenda on this session? Like, want to make sure that she goes away feeling great about herself and what it is she's doing, because sometimes we just need that reassurance that we're on the right track. And
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, I have never seen or never met with someone
Mm-hmm.
who is just already there where you are with the branding and everything. And I'm like, she literally took a step back and not just said, I'm getting my business together, but you actually put the implementation of it, put your best foot forward, got your colors together, got
Mm-hmm.
everything together. And I'm like, wow, this is a whole new facelift.
Yeah.
So I just appreciate you even just going and doing the small steps to make sure that when you did meet with a coach, or when you
Mm-hmm.
did meet with someone, that you came prepared. Because oftentimes we say, oh, I didn't get what I paid for. And oftentimes we don't come prepared for what it is that they have to give us. And so make sure
Absolutely.
when you come to the table that you have your own fine china to put your food on.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it.
And you know, when you say, I'm glad you say that, because another face it point right there is face it. Sometimes one coach is not enough, because for me, I have several coaches, and I'm going to shout them out right now. I want to shout out Coach Adam G. Fleming. He's the one that I shared with y'all, wrote this book right here about motivational listening. Because when I want to learn how to listen or how to do something, I'm talking to Adam G. Fleming. He's also a fictional writer. Y'all go on Amazon and just look up Adam G. Fleming. He has some amazing books if you like steampunk, science fiction, or you want to learn about leadership, motivational listening. This is not your standard motivational listening book, and it is phenomenal. Adam G. Fleming. He is my coach, my mentor, my friend. And he is all about kingdom building. And he helped me get to the place where I was that you saw me today, where I took a step back and looked at my languaging, because he asked me, what
Mm,
do you want people to feel and see? What do you not want them to feel and see? And then we went from there, and it was amazing to have that process out. And then I want to talk about my physical fitness coach, Ren Jones, over there at Fitness Jones Training. He began to help me see the value in taking it slow, because I was in the gym every day of the week and twice on Sunday, and I was studying
mhm,
gaining weight. And Coach Ren told me to sit my butt down. Unfortunately, I incurred an injury, not because of Coach Ren, but because my physiology indicates that I need to do some real deep stretching first. So now we're having to take a step back so we can take a step forward and get my body in line. Over there, Miss Raquel at Confidently Fit, Fit Confidently. She ain't playing, y'all. She's a millennial out there about getting her thing on. So check out Raquel at over there at Confidently Fit. These are the coaches that are making sure that I can live my best life now. And if I do not, Miss Jen Godly, oh my God, over there, Super Connector Media, the mindset maven, that's what I call her. She's all about mindset and making sure you can be seen on TV, her and Chris Winfield. Chris and Jen, I call my unfair advantage, Coach Nykia, because when I was sitting on my couch drinking Diet Pepsis, eating Doritos, feeling suicidal. I got up the next day and I ran into the two of them and they changed
Mm.
my life. The ripple effect because of what they do that is now happening in my life. I go back and I remind them it's called legacy. You see, you now, Coach Nykia, are part of my lean in moment, just like Jen and Chris. So I now consider you one of my unfair advantages because it's not fair that I should have all these phenomenal coaches in my life, making sure that when I step out and really branch out to do the things that I know God has called me to do, I'm going to do it in excellence. I'm going to do it with the knowledge that I am fully prepared, fully equipped, and fully ready to fulfill my destiny on this planet. And it's going to be more than global because I'm believing God for so
Love
much.
it.
2022 is going to be the year that I face it. I'm going to dream bigger and then I'm going to dream bigger than that. And with that said, Coach Nykia, how do you say you have become an unapologetically unstoppable woman? And what are you looking forward to in 2022?
Well, I have become an unapologetic, unstoppable woman by just being myself, being authentic, just knowing where it is I want to go, having that vision of where it is I am going, not where people tell me I should be. And in 2022, what I am looking forward to is being just continuing to be intentional with my connections, with the amount of people I help, and serving. Like I want to make sure that this year I'm intentional about serving the people that God has for me. And so I trust into him for everything. And I will not lean on to man. I will not lean on to this world. I will not focus on what's going on in this pandemic, everything in this
Mhm.
world, and get me distracted. I will be intentional about reaching my goals for my family. And so I want to be able to help more people. And I wanted you to know chosen1academy.com. We also have chosen1academy.com. That's where individuals can go and enroll to apply to work with me. So there is an application process because I don't work with everyone. You can
Mhm.
apply to work with me and see if we're a great fit for each other.
Well, thank you for that, Coach Nakia. And as always, I remind you, if you're ready to tap into the Chosen One Academy, what do you have to do, ladies and gentlemen? The number one thing you have to do is you have to change your mindset. And then I
Amen.
want you to announce that you are ready to work with Coach Nakia and get some accountability. Then I want you to prepare yourself by gathering all your information so that when you show up in her place, you are ready to go. Then I want you to imagine how amazing and unstoppable and unapologetic your life is going to become because she's going to put you on the right track and have you living your best life now. And then I want you to nurture all of that so that you can tap in and make 2022 your best year ever. Are you ready to face it? Remember, the choices you make today will be the reality you live tomorrow. Choose wisely. Thanks, Coach Nakia.
Thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope everyone has an amazing day.
We will. It's just one of those days where I'm saying sometimes you forget what you're supposed to do. I got so engrossed and I forgot to start the ending commercial, y'all, but here it comes.